Hi guys, and welcome to this episode of ToolBox TV. Now, I know that this is a subject I've covered previously, but one of our newer members has raised the question again, so I'm going to cover this topic again and hopefully this time sort of embed the understanding that signage on your van is a must and is not just a should I do it, could I do it, what if. If you are a tradesman intending to grow your business, then having the vehicle that you do your business in, whether it's an estate car, whether it's a small van, whether it's a large van, having that vehicle sign written speaks volumes about who you are and what your intentions are. Now, you might not believe that in your own mind, but then you have to believe you're not your customer. Your customer makes judgments about you from the moment they have that first point of contact with you. And I've mentioned before that the first point of contact may not necessarily be the first time they see you. It may be that they have spotted you out on another job. It may be that they've spotted you on the social networks. Regardless, the point is that from the moment that they make contact with you, they are making judgments. And some of the judgments that are being made are countering things that are already inside the customer's head. So most customers will already have a distrust of tradesmen. They're so used to the individual who scratches his chin and goes, "Ooh, missus, that's going to cost you." They're so used to people taking deposits and leaving and not doing any work. They're used to road builders. They're used to cowboy tradesmen. And as such, you don't just have a job of convincing them that you're not like that. You have the job of erasing what's already going on in their head, what the story that they're already cycling in their head, you need to erase. And one of the big things, as we all know, is this perception of the white van man. Now, when we relate to white van man, we don't necessarily mean the white van, but a person who drives a van. And they quite often are seen as being rogues or as being non-established trades, if you like. So it doesn't matter if the van is blue, white, pink, yellow, black, whatever. The bottom line is, if you're seen in a vehicle that's not branded or marked up, you're categorized in that lump. So here's the scenario that goes on in your customer's head. You arrive on the doorstep to do a quote. They've spotted your vehicle on the curb outside. It hasn't got any sign writing on it. In your customer's head, they're automatically now thinking to themselves, this guy is fly-by-night. He doesn't have any faith in his own services because he's not prepared to put his name on it. So therefore, why should I have any faith in this individual? They're looking at the vehicle and thinking, oh, electrician today, tomorrow a plumber, next day a gardener, next day, So why don't you just have the sign writing on the side of your vehicle or all over your vehicle, whichever the case is? And I know some people have the argument that, oh, if I sign write my van, I'm setting myself up as a target for thieves who want to nick my tools. Well, the bottom line is, guys, if they're going to do that, they're going to do it anyway. I've had my vehicle now, in the length of time I've been in business, I've had my vehicle broken into on 2 occasions, and on both occasions they happened to be in London. I don't believe whether it was sign written or not had any bearing on that. My belief, particularly on one of the occasions, was that I was actually followed from where they spotted me putting some tools into the van. They followed me on to where I parked up the next time, and then they broke into the vehicle. I don't believe that the writing on the van has any bearing on it at all. And even if it did, I think for the marketing value, for the value of not losing work because of the sign writing on the van, I think it counteracts or it outweighs any potential that there is of loss when the vehicle's broken into. Yes, I know it can cost you several hundreds of pounds, thousands of pounds even, to replace tools and the like in a vehicle, but the reality is it going to happen, number one? Number two, is it going to happen on a regular basis? And then you look at that against the value of getting the work, and how much work are you definitely losing because you haven't got your vehicle sign written. So you know, my whole take on it is sign write your vehicle. Make sure that your vehicle is branded in such a way that, number one, you look respectable and dependable to your customer, and number two, that it helps you to get business as well. So, you know, more so than even having it sign written, once it's sign written, you need to make sure that it's going to work for you. So, you know, very same as most of the things I talk about when we talk about advertising or leaflets or flyers or anything like that. You need to make sure that the sign writing on the van actually states what it is you do. So, electrician, local electrician, domestic electrician, whichever the case may be, or whichever the one is going to get you the most impact. Too many times I come across vehicles, I see vehicles where it will have something like Fred Smith and Sons, and it tells me nothing about what they may do. Yes, there might be a little column or a set of bullet points down one side that says that they're general builders, that they do tarmacking or whatever it is that they do. But what are you going to see in an instant as a vehicle drives by? And if it's going to be Fred Smith and Sons, it doesn't tell you a whole lot about what it is they do. Whereas if it says local electrician or just electrician, then that tells you a lot more. And if electrician is what's on your mind and you're thinking I need an electrician, and somewhere in the back of your mind you have a project that you need doing, and that vehicle drives by, then you're more likely to get results from it. Many years ago I would have said that you don't get too many people calling up because of the sign on your van. And that's because, you know, you're driving along, people don't have the wherewithal to jot down numbers and all of that type of thing. They think to themselves, oh, I'll remember that and I'll call them later on. But more recently, and I think it's with the popularity now of mobile phones with cameras on them, more recently now, people will snap the vehicle and then go away and look at the phone number later and call you. So again, you know, that type of behaviour has increased, and I've certainly had a couple of calls from situations like that where people have said to me, yeah, I photographed the van as it was driving down the A2, and we called you when we got home. So, you know, there are various good reasons in my book why you need to make sure your van is sign written. I said van, guys, you know, you may be operating from an estate car or a small car derived van. It doesn't matter what size. Just make sure that you're branded, that you have your image, that you have your information on the vehicle, and of course your phone number needs to be clear that they can get hold of you. I put my website on the side of my van. I'm not so sure that does anything for it, but certainly the phone number needs to be on there. Potentially an email address if the room allows. I don't believe you need to list every single thing that you do, you know, rewires, the extra sockets, the outside lights, the garden lights, blah blah blah. I don't think you need to do that. I think the concept of electrician or local electrician or domestic electrician is enough. But then once you do that, of course you're responsible. And when I say responsible, I mean you've got to keep your vehicle looking right. You've got to keep it clean, both inside and outside. There's nothing worse than a potential customer coming across your vehicle and finding a copy of the mirror open on page 3, or even worse, a copy of the Sport stuck up on the dashboard. So you know, you need to make sure that your image is portrayed the way you want it to be portrayed, and that is as a good, genuine, sincere, local, professional electrician. So I don't think I can say much more on the subject of sign writing your vehicle. It should be done. It's a must in my book, not a maybe or a could be. It's a must. So go and have your vehicle sign written. Until the next time, continue to learn and grow, and I'll see you in the next video.